Okay, let me show you how I center the clay. So we're going for small amounts. This is just over a pound of clay here. You may see people throwing a ball of clay down, and when you're more experienced, that's certainly something you can do. But as a beginner, it's better to start with a nice ball of clay. The reason it's a ball of clay is because it's got a nice round bottom. So as we place that bottom onto the wheel head, it means we don't get any air trapped underneath with this rounded shape. So it's a good way to start. Also here I'm throwing on some MDF bats, so the bat's damp but not wet. It mustn't be wet, it mustn't be shiny with water, just damp to take the dryness off the bat. If there's too much water in there, this will simply slip and slide around. You want it to stick but not slide. So we start by just placing it down near to the centre as we can. We press down firmly and evenly. As I say, as a beginner, this is the easiest way to do it. Once you've done that and it's kind of flattened against the wheel head, just take your finger, you slightly damp, and just press in that corner and just seal the clay against the bat. That just makes sure that when we add water, which is the next stage, water doesn't seep underneath there and cause it to slip and slide off. Right, we're ready for centering. The hardest thing about learning to throw pots, I think a lot of people find. So the way that I do it is the way I'm going to show you. You may find different people will do it in different ways. If you're watching videos online or if you go to a different teacher, they may show a different way of doing it. I'm going to show you the way that I do it for a relatively small amount, and it works for me, but you might find that you do it differently or you develop your own method, but we'll do it this way for now. Okay, so we have the wheel spin nice and fast, possibly almost as fast as it will go, and we've got plenty of water in the clay. Now, the clay should always feel slippy in your hands. There should never be any friction. If there's any friction, you feel friction against the clay, then you need to add more water. Okay, so we're starting with a relatively round shape here. Now the way that I center, and I'm right-handed, so the clay is passing through my fingers like this, and not into my fingers, which would cause it to dig in, passing round and through my fingers. If you were left-handed, you'd have the wheel going in. Okay, so my right hand gets placed. This part of my hand goes against the wheel head, and my hand is almost vertical, and then I curl it around the ball of clay. This hand sits on top of the other hand, and the two hands lock together. My elbows brace in against my thighs, or my body, or even against the splash pad. Then again, how you feel, but must brace so you form a strong triangle shape with your hands. The idea now is that we're going to be in charge of the clay. The clay is not going to be in charge of us. So I need to be as firm and solid as possible with my hands and my body, and I'm using the rigidity of my forearms to create a very stable shape. Okay, now I tend to use my fingertips to press into the wall of clay, and I immediately start to center it. Now as I press my fingertips in, the clay wants to rise up, so this top hand locked to my right hand here, and it's working on this edge of the clay. And the idea is that this hand controls that shape. So as these fingers press in, the left hand is pressing down, and I'm locking the shape. Now, if you press too much from the side, you'll find you form a cold shape. And if you press too much from the top, you'll find the clay starts to flatten out. So there's subtle adjustments with the left hand as you pull with the right fingers. And you roll up all around the absolutely to keep that nice shape. Now, if you have it centered, my hands are locked. I'm going to slowly relax, aren't we? Take my hands off. Okay. If I were to remove my hands quickly, immediately goes off center. So always when you're removing your hands from a piece of clay, whether it's centering or whether it's throwing, always release gently. And I find that when the reel's going fast, the centering, slowly roll down a little first, and then release your hands, almost in slow motion. Because the wheel's spinning, and when it's spinning fast, the clay literally wants to move outwards. As you can see, if I release my hands fast, the clay actually almost spreads a little bit. So slowly down. Take your hands off gently. Okay. So the shape we're looking for to start with is like almost like this sort of mushroom shape. A little bit of an indent here and a little bit of a round at the top. I'm going to show you that once again. I'm going to knock it off centre. So you can see now. Now, it really is important that you are in charge of the clay. So if your hands are moving the clay, then you need to brace really firmly against your body and really to hold your hands firm. Force the clay into the position that you want it to go. Now, the way I do it is my fingertips are doing a lot of work. I can almost knock it off again. I can almost center it with one hand, just with my fingertips. But obviously the clay has risen up to that. So the two hands allow me to create the shape I want. Now, some people struggle with using the fingertips, they don't have the strength. Some people are hypermobile and they find it difficult to press with the fingers. So in that case, it might be easier to use this bit of your hand here to apply the pressure. So knock it off again, and this time I'm going to use this bit of my hand to apply that pressure. As you can see again, the clay starts to center, but it wants to rise up. So by using both hands, we can center it and we can control the shape. Okay. And then we have a centered piece of clay.